buddy.
Hello.
How you doing?
How are ya?
Happy Monday.
Yeah, it was a happy Monday.
It feels like a Mondayest Monday I've had in a while.
Yeah. Well, I got to impact some lives today. I mean,
Well, that's great.
Yeah, so it's fun to get to help people when you. That's the thing about when I do being in the emergency services field is fun to get to help people. So I love
Yeah.
doing it. Speaking,
Are you? And guess what else?
What's that?
We only have a little over a month until Warren's Seekers of the Supernatural
Folks, the really big rock show, the Warren Spirit God.
Yep, we only have a little bit of time left.
You
have your Halloween costume picked out.
I believe I do.
Are you bringing trick-or-treat candy for me? Because I could trick-or-treat to your room. I could be like,
oh, hello, I'm a little girl. Could you? Well, we could, yeah, I probably will.
I like chocolate, buddy. You know this.
Well, yeah, but I gotta tell you, the Warren Faircon. If you don't have your tickets, folks, this is we're really doing a push for this this event, and the reason why is some of the amazing people that are going to be at this year's event. Last year, me and Kelly were really blessed enough. We got to be there and get to be on the at the event, and it was a blast. But let me tell you, it was like a rock concert. There was people filing in, and everybody rocked. Had their black t-shirts on, and I said, "And it's like a rock concert." In the rain, people were standing outside in the rain to get there. So
yeah, they were in the rain.
Yeah, but you know what? They got inside and it rocked. But last year was amazing. But I'll tell you what I'm finding is what's going to be there this year and the people that are going to be there. Wow, it's going to be even at the Mohegan Sun, right? That's
yes, Mohegan Sun Casino. Yes. Hi, Fred. And Fred's going to be there too.
So Fred's going to be there. Oh my God, I got a whole bunch of people in the chat here.
I'm excited.
Speaking of the Paracon.
Yes.
And speaking of the people who are going to be there, I will tell you, I'm really, and The Rock says really excited about who we have on the show tonight.
I know. I'm anxious to talk to him a little bit longer. Every time we overlap, it's kind of quick, and I want to hear about all his projects and things. So I'm glad he is joining us this evening.
Yes. I think the man has more championship belts than most professional wrestlers ever in a lifetime.
That's right. Yep. It's something I learn about both of you all the time. I mean,
well, let me tell you something, Jaboni. What it is. This guy, let me tell you, I've known this man now 5+ years, and really been blessed. I was that mild, meek person to walk up and said, "Hi, my name's Keith Bailey." Met him on a show, and he was talking about one of the things he does there at the event, and just to get to sit there and listen, and then to get to go investigate this location that he has was amazing. This man, folks, is involved in the Hinsdale house. Obviously, his project, his baby. Also, Death Walker is another, and also Ghost Finders. Mm-hmm. Ladies and gentlemen, for the hundreds watching on the show tonight, walking down the aisle, would you please put your hands together for the one and only Daniel Klaes.
Woo! Oh my word. There is an entrance. Wow.
I told you.
I feel vastly unprepared for this.
I told you this guy. Listen.
What is up, everybody?
Oh my God.
I told you.
Can it get any more exciting?
I am excited. I said I'm excited to hear about all
Wes
of
Coleman
your projects.
People's eyebrow. Absolutely. He gives it to like, what's your name? It doesn't matter what your damn name is. Just the fun, folks. If you can't, obviously Dan is a big wrestling fan. I went back to the Sam Houston Coliseum back in like 19. I was like 8 years old. Yeah,
like 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And we used to go to the old Paul Bosch days. Paul Bosch, Jose Lothario, Harley Race, Wahoo McDaniel, Ric Flair, all the old time. Oh, the Sheik, Bruiser Brody. Oh God, in the matches, everybody bled here. I mean, they fought. I think it was wrestling, but they actually. I don't think there was much holding back. They just beat up out of each other, and steel cage matches. If you were in the first couple rows, you were going to get blood tossed on you somehow. So very, very fun. Well, yeah, Bruno.
There was the Sheik. There was the Sheik, and then there was the Iron Sheik. Two separate wrestlers.
See there, a little stuff for you folks there in case you had a little wrestling trivia. Well, folks, I love to talk, but I'm going to tell you what right now. I want to turn it. We're going to have an evening with Mr. Daniel Klaes. And we're just going to let him tell us about himself, what he does, what he's involved in. And
yeah, tell us about his projects.
Here, I'm leaning through the ropes, handing you the mic.
Yeah.
You're looking out to the crowd.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, the three of you have concerned the market.
Yeah, we have cornered. Yes.
Oh my God! Well,
yeah. Look at us with our beige paint, huh?
I mean,
hey, look at you got Wes saying,
Wes, you're just feeding this. You're feeding the problem right now.
Yeah, but wait a second. Who was the genius the manager of? Now that's some trivia. Who was he the manager of?
I feel like we have to do a special show just for.
I have one thing that you're not. Absolutely perfect.
Oh yeah, Mr. Perfect. Kurt
yeah, he started out. He was the manager for Erwin R. Shyster. Oh, Wes is bringing up some holes. I think we
what about Duke the Dumpster Droese? Remember him?
Oh God, that some of them did just. It was like the new wrestler of the week coming down the aisle. I like the who were the guys?
The Bushwhackers.
Oh my gosh,
man, they were hilarious. Boy, that was some fun back in
the Whackers of the Bush from Australia.
There you go. Or from parts unknown.
That's right.
Oh Lord. Well, take it away, Daniel.
Anyhow, on to you.
We're having fun though. Well, Iron Mike Sharp. Was there an Iron Mike Sharp? I don't know.
The guy that always used to pat himself on the back, right?
Yeah.
Iron Mike Sharp. And he always made the weird noises as he'd get tackled.
Did he?
Yeah. He was the one that always got beat on wrestling on Saturday mornings. No matter who he went against, he always got beat.
Yeah. Well, I've been watching those the shows about the rest, and I still loved Goldberg. Say what you want. They said he wasn't talented. But that guy literally took people out of their boots, like for real, when he gave them that spear tackle. I mean, golly, I still remember the night he beat, he had to beat him.
What's his name? Razor Ramon?
Razor, he died. He died not too long ago.
Yeah.
He died. And then if he beat him, he got to get to the Hulkster. And I'll never forget that match, man. Back and forth. Buddy, when he finally got him and spear tackled him and then took him up for the ride, God, that was exciting.
Kelly, who's your favorite wrestler?
Well, I mean, I feel like I can't adequately weigh into this conversation, so I just keep I do know some of the people you're talking about, but I never really watched it. I had some family members that were very into it, so I have seen quite a bit of it, but yeah, I mean, not as well versed in the sport as.
So yours was Bastion Booger?
No, I don't know who that is. I'm gonna vote no.
The booger.
The Doink the Clown, yeah.
No. Yeah. But anyhow, on to you. So how'd you get into all this, Dan?
into this. Well, Keith, I met him at a restaurant, and then he was listening to me speak, and then he bought me a breakfast in Gettysburg, and then he asked me to come on your show.
You know,
Oh, okay.
some of it is true. I would buy dinner.
You did buy me breakfast. You did buy me breakfast in Gettysburg at the back.
I told you. I always love, you know, that's one of the things I love to do. People are all there, you know, big group of people at the table, and I say, hey, I got it. And they're like, no, really, it's going to be like a bunch. I'm like, look, all of you are my friends. I love you. I'm blessed. I want to do it. And they're like, oh, yeah. I do that out of love. You know, that's my friend. So I know this guy, Dan, is awesome. Well, yes, he is. No doubt.
I know that guy too.
Joe Oddities.
He owns the Paranormal Oddities store in Western New York.
God, yeah,
he also has the live venue. He does a lot of amazing events out here, and he's the originator of the online live. I don't know if you ever have a chance to interview him. He's super interesting because he was doing live before it was a thing, before Facebook allowed you to press a button and do it. It was called Paranormal Crossroads Live, and he had these big giant antennas sticking out of the van and like satellite crap going on and like going like this. He was walking around with these big contraptions and doing Paranormal Live before it was a thing. Like people.
Well, Joe, we'll have to get a chance to talk. Yeah, if I can tell you right now, if Dan the man vets you and says that's a good guy, then you know that's the only phone call I have to make. That sells that, you know. And especially if you go back that far, you've spent your time in the biz.
Oh, yeah.
So with all that, you know, you do so much, and just, you know, take us down the memory lane, way back when you were a little youth, and you told Dad, I think I might be seeing things. I know it's you know, tell us, share it, and everybody, an evening with Dan Klaes.
I mean, it's, for me personally, it started off at home, you know, like a home haunting, you know, getting me all equivalated with spirits or things that I didn't understand. You know, we grew up with a haunted house, basically. And, you know, my parents were always protecting us, telling us a bunch of bull, you know, to try to make us not be scared. And, you know, things would happen, you know, paint or crayons being drawn on the ceiling, nothing malicious, you know, stuffed animals being moved to my sister's room that I always got blamed for. I actually heard a little kid singing Ring Around the Rosie when my parents were camping in Canada, and I was over at my friend's house spending time with my best friend, and I went over to get my G.I. Joe guys. I could hear a kid singing upstairs, and when we ran upstairs, there was nothing there.
Wow.
You know, so I ended up leaving, and then my parents had told me that they were going to be selling the house, and I immediately thought, you know, well, this would be cool for my kids to be able to grow up in the same house that I grew up in. I know all the neighbors already, know the school district, and bought it from them. And then my son started having some of the same, kind of the same things that were happening to me. He started telling me things, you know, and I was a little bit more embracive and understanding of what he was dealing with. Ended up going to, after I got the deed, going to Lilydale and speaking with a psychic medium there. Her name was Ellen Bourne. I'll never forget. And before I even paid her, before I even sat down at her desk, she said, you have two child spirits living in your house that are attached to something that is near and dear to their hearts. And I was on a quest to find that, and ended up finding it up in the attic, one of those little crawl spaces, little squares, you know, up in the ceiling that you never go into or think about going into. It's just there. I popped it open and ended up finding a painting of a little boy and a little girl playing with their dog. And after, you know, I solved that mystery, it was like my first Scooby-Doo mystery. You know, I believe we helped them move on, you know, to the light, you know, because that's what we told them to do. And I felt like they were there, but I also felt like they were able to go and come as they wanted. It's like they were coming to check up on us. And I feel like they're still with us in a way.
Wow.
And then I started doing what everybody does. You know, you go to Gettysburg, you go to Salem, you start doing the tours, you start listening and taking things in, and then you hone in on your own craft. You know, eventually started a YouTube show called Behind the Shadows, which, you know, we've got hundreds of thousands of views on my YouTube channel. Hinsdale House being the most popular one, of course.
Right.
But we, you know, that was one of the locations I went to. Hinsdale House with my team and filmed there, and it was like none other investigation I had been on, so it was interesting that to have things happening that with almost every piece of equipment that I brought there. It was a crazy night, and it just made me, I don't want to say infatuated because I don't want to be like Gollum in the Ring, but it piqued my interest. You know what I mean? Like, it was an interesting place. There was a lot of unknown. I felt like the energies there wanted to speak but didn't have a voice, and it got to the point where I was going there quite regularly, and then it was going to be torn down. The guy that owned it from Calgary defaulted on the mortgage, bounced back to the Reese Tree Farm that owned it, and I had to kind of go work a deal out with him. I had to go, he said, if you're serious about saving it, you need to show up on Wednesday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon in Cuba, New York. I'm like, okay. And I did, drove out there, had no phone service, didn't know where the hell I was going, but I made it there. And it seemed like everything just kind of fell into place to buy the location. Even the convincing conversation I had with my wife about spending all the money we had left to purchase a property down in the southern tier that needed a new roof, had 500,000 honeybees and a black mold problem. It was, everything just kind of fell into place to buy the location. And I second guessed myself so many times, even to the day I went to go sign the mortgage, and I stood in front of there and said, what the hell am I doing? And something just kept telling me to push through with it, and I did. And then I ended up buying it and started working. Paranormal community really embraced me. It seemed like a lot of what I did in the past came back. Like you never know where you're going to touch somebody's heart or where you're going to meet somebody. And we ended up having almost 70 people show up one day with paint and scrapers and roofing supplies, and just, it was a patch job, but we were able to get the roof done before that winter, which was a blessing. And then it was just kind of one step at a time, just what are you going to do next? What are you going to do next? There's always stuff to do.
Right.
But we just kept plugging away at it to where we are today. And if you look at when I bought it to what it looks like today, you can see it looks like a complete spin around. It looks, you wouldn't even recognize the property, what it used to be. And it's just a testament to what you can do if you do things the right way, and you involve amazing people with your journey.
Wow.
And let's move to the next step, because along that journey, and buying the house and taking that chance, I got a letter in the mail from a company it was called Groff Entertainment, that were trying to film a show by the name of Paranormal Lockdown there. I feel like that's kind of like what changed the tide, because it put it on a national spotlight again, and people really were able to know about the Hinsdale house again because of Nick. And Nick and I forged a friendship, and then now a business. I own No Sleep Entertainment, which produces his show Death Walker. I'm the executive in charge of production of that. I mean, everything that I've done, like if you would have told me 10 years ago I'd be in charge of a television show that's on Discovery Plus, I would have laughed at you. But it's like, you just never know where things will take you in life if you go about doing things with passion and love. And I'm just having fun and enjoying myself. It's tedious at times, and I'm a lot of stuff to learn, but I'm having a good time doing it, and I always love to learn new stuff. So
I think there's something there that's interesting too. You mentioned about Nick, and one of the other words to add to that as a caveat is trust. Nick trusted you enough. Like he went there, he'd been around you, and he's like, I want to do something very special with you, Dan, and here's what I want to do. And he knew, he's like, look, I give you my key to my kingdom, is us working together. And then what a beautiful friendship relationship that you've had. You see it, and you see you guys, and you're having fun. You're doing it. But Tim says it best there when you put it, is that I think you honestly, you deserve it. And one of the reasons why is, and kind of the old school theme is, you worked your way to that point. We see a lot of these, these kind of, we call them overnight successes in the field, where did this person come from? Who's so and so? Well, that's not the case with Dan. Dan started, he did this, he worked, he was there, he was out there. And, everybody said that's going to be a guy you're going to see in the future that's going places. Even the places I had went and sit there and listened to you, even the people I talked to in the crowd, I says, you just get a feeling about him. He's got such a passion for the field. You could just see that joy you had when you got up on that stage and you poured your heart out about you had enough love and belief in a location that you said, look, I don't know who it is that's telling me to do this, but maybe it's the spirits, like, just keep doing, just keep going.
Ultimately, could there be a connection with me in a past life with that location?
Absolutely.
A lot of people have said that. A lot of psychics have said that to me. And perhaps, it seems like with everything that you do, there's going to be puzzle pieces, and you have to try to figure those out. And if you do things in a positive way, things seem to just always fall into place. It's going to happen the way it's going to happen. You can't control that. All you can do is just be positive and accept what's going to happen. And sometimes great things happen, sometimes not so great things happen. But at the end of the day, as long as you tried your hardest and you did it in a positive light, then you accept what falls onto your plate. And there could have been the relationship with Nick. I was just talking to him about this a few weeks ago. Like, it could have gone south. Like, if I was the type of person that looked at things and really viewed things in a negative way, I could have been upset that when he filmed Paranormal Lockdown there, the Hinsdale house, that he filmed me and I didn't make the cut. I didn't make the cut, and I was like, Tim Shaw and Paul made the cut, and it was like, I have to look at this as a positive. Like, Nick came into my life for a reason. He's putting the Hinsdale house in a national spotlight. It doesn't really matter who's going to be on TV, who's not going to be on TV. And I was super happy with the way that the show came out, and I had a lot of gratitude for it. Regardless if you make the cut or not, you have to come to the realization that you could get filmed for anything, and you never know that's you never know if you're going to make the cut or not. But when it comes to TV, and you have to understand that, And I just was positive, and thankful that it made it on TV. It helped business. It helped with siding. It helped with so many different things, getting people to come to the location. That how could you not be happy about that? And then the next season, he called me up and said, come and be on the Statler episode, and I was on TV. Like, it was a work in progress. But if I would have been a dick, if I would have not and been in a different light or acted in a different way, that could have been my career. That could have been the end of it, and you just have to have gratitude for the things that fall in your lap, and not don't have the highest expectations. You have to have high expectations for yourself, but don't look at the highest expectation and say, I want to achieve that right away. Sometimes it takes work. Sometimes it takes nurturing. Sometimes it takes a lot of different things in order to get to where you want to be. But again, I never, if you asked me 10 years ago, this is what I'd be doing for a living, I would have laughed and said, yeah, right. It's like, who would have thought,
Wow. Yeah. And that's the beauty of that place is it really has all the components of what is in a paranormal type atmosphere. And it's not only that it's the land, then it's the building, then it's the contents there of the building. But it's also the spirits, the souls that are there that have, continued to be connected to that, because, the water that's on there, that pond that's there, when you get out around that area, and I've even had it where I've had spikes on my EDI that go immediately to like 60, and it's out there with no electricity, no other form, and it'll last about 10 seconds, and then it goes back down to nothing. I'm thinking that from those and getting these high EMF readings in a space right there of portals somewhere right in there, that how there's so much of the crossings back and forth of these spirits that come and go. And many people have talked about that on that land. Like, yeah, like, you'll see things that are there, and then they're gone, and it's like they disappeared into nothingness. And the lights, the spirits that they have seen, that just kind of drifted off into nothingness. But also the side of it with the whole, Native American. How much does that play into it? And I would almost think, but I'll ask this question: have you ever been there and been investigating with others, and the spirits say your name?
The spirits have said my name?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And that's such a high regard. I think that again is they see you, they love you, they know you, and it's like, hi Dan, and who owns this place? Who's here? Who looks out for you? It's Dan. And even when I was there, I had to walk outside a little bit. I got a little emotional because John was there and he was sitting there and he felt the coolest little touch right at a level to where a child would be. And John is one that he's like, he'll tell you, no, that's something, a fly landing on me, whatever. And he's like, I just got touched. Very, very much so. And Dan talked about the children. And I just started thinking, I wonder what they went through back then. Were they hungry? Did they have cold winters? Were they freezing?
Were they sick?
Were they sick? Did they, and you think, and you're like, wow. And look at this today. We have kids and they don't even want to get up and go to bed and go to school. We're back in the day would have got a spanking, right, or something. So things change. But some of the other things that you're involved in, the Hinsdale House is a huge shining light in your life with that. But when you think of the Ghost Finders, that's one of the other things that's a big thing with you right now that so many love and watch and are a part of. Tell us a little bit about that and how you got involved with that, and what maybe what some little surprise little stuff coming up here in the future that you can talk about.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, it stems from Rob Thompson, his production company, getting in contact with me about shooting episode at the Hinsdale House, and they asked me if I could come and do an interview. After I agreed to let them come and film, just felt like family. It felt like I love the fact that they had a witch on the team, which brought different aspects to the table, like as far as paranormal investigating goes. I thought that was different, and I really loved Megan and her approach to things, and their professionalism as far as how they acted on set. It beamed family to me, and I really enjoyed having them there. So much to the point where I said, let me get them to film at some of my other friends' locations. And I started hooking them up with locations. And one of the locations that I hooked them up with was the Virgin House. And he asked me if I'd come be a special guest on the show because they were going to do a seance. And at that day is the day that he asked me if I'd join the cast of the show. And I had to think about it because I had a team. I had the Greater West New York Paranormal Society. I also had a very busy personal life as far as the Hinsdale House, going to events, and my family, which is the number one thing in my life. And I really didn't know how being on a cast of a show was going to affect that, but the cool thing about the Ghost Finders is we're all kind of in the same boat. So we all were able to kind of coordinate our schedules for the filming and shoot dates ahead of time, months ahead of time. And then we stick to those dates and the locations that we're going to film at and go film. And we have 2 in our back pocket that are going to be coming out. And we have another one we're filming in October. So.
Nice.
So have you ever got to go to a place? I don't know if you've heard. Have you ever heard of a place called Fort Mifflin?
Oh yeah, we actually did.
Yeah, the reason why is we have the man, Mr. Greg O'Brien. Yeah. Oh, what
he's a peach.
He's a keeper. He is. You can't. You could have 1,000 people and not one person would have one bad thing to say about him. I mean, you got like 999, and one guy. He's a pretty good guy, but with him, he's just such a nice guy. He just, and we can do that. Well, let's go do that. Well, come on, we'll go over there. And we had me and Kelly and Wes. This guy, you ever heard of a fellow named Wes Coleman?
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy.
I've heard of him. You know?
Yeah,
Been around
he's
a few times, huh?
this guy. But anyway, we got to go and we investigated there, and man, did we have a time. And he had mentioned that you guys had been there and spoke about a great group. So, I'm hoping in 2023, what would be so very cool is to get some really very cool people and to get to go to Fort Mifflin and maybe make some sort of a really cool event like kind of thing. Because I'm going to tell you, the place is big enough to where you could spread people out and just go investigate. I mean, there's how many stuff there that's like, oh my goodness, and just have a blast. I mean, it's so, and we were up on the balcony, Dan, and we're getting like these. You could hear these loud, disembodied screams from like, and we heard it, and then these ghostly little dogs barking somewhere like right there below us. There's no dogs around, like he said, for miles, and we had a ball. I'm looking. That was my second time to go there, but I'd love to get to go back for sure. So then we talk about.
Wait a second.
What? Wait. What happened? What happened?
No. You know what, Keith? It doesn't matter what you think now. It's Kelly's turn. Because you've been talking for 30 minutes.
Right.
You need to let Kelly ask me some questions.
Okay, Kelly.
Well, I was just taking it all in. I wanted to hear about all your projects too, so that's good. I was going to ask you about all these projects, which I'm glad I'm paying attention. I definitely.
She's filtering some things in the chat room there.
I'm trying to filter the chat. The wrestling
really
chat got a little out of hand. I had to catch up a little bit, so that's better now.
Yeah. Take it away, Kelly.
I was going to ask you too. Of all the places that you've gone to, either. Well, with any show that you're part of, is there a place that is kind of a hidden gem that sticks out to you, besides your own location, of course, that maybe a place that you went that really surprised you?
Yeah, I mean, there's been quite a few, and I've gotten with Deathwalker, I've gotten to go into a lot of locations that I normally wouldn't get to go into because we have to have $1 million of insurance to get in there. Sure. But there's a place down in Alabama called the Sloss Furnaces. Oh my God, just an amazing location to explore. The amount of deaths that have occurred there in this old blast furnace location, just amazing. And got to spend the night there, and it was really cool. I mean, there's so many. I feel blessed to be at any of the locations I get to go to or get called to come and help investigate at and work with the public or even just film a show. I mean, it's really cool. That one stands out, and then the Winchester Mystery House. That one I wanted more time. I felt like I didn't have enough time there. It's tough because it's hard to get the location because of it's a museum and it's open all day, so you have to only work at night, and if you're allowed to go in there even, and investigate. So, but that place is huge, and it's like a big giant maze. I wanted to spend so much more time there than we were allotted, but it was so cool.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Wes has a question. He asked if you've been to any haunted prisons.
Yeah. Actually, we just filmed some reenactments at an old haunted prison in central New York. But I've been to Old Licking County Jail. I've been to a lot of prisons, actually. Old Licking County Jail is one of my favorites in Newark, Ohio. It's really cool. Really cool place. Been there like 3 or 4 times.
There you go, Wes. You can add that to your bucket list.
Lincoln County.
Yeah. Is there a particular experience that you've had that
you could talk about?
You can talk about that is already maybe shared or whatnot.
Not those others.
Kind of that's something that's happened to you that was very poignant amidst all of your investigations.
I mean, I can talk about one that happened last summer at the Hinsdale house that I thought was very poignant to me because when I'm investigating, I very rarely do I feel like, some people get touched all the time or get scratched or something happens. And I'm like, please put a mark on my body, do something to me. Make why does it always happen to somebody else? I said, I want to get beat up. And
Oh, Lord.
very very
What?
very rarely
Wow.
does it ever happen to me. It happened to me once in Erie, Pennsylvania at the Eagle Hotel, and then I was at Hinsdale last summer, and it was just me and my friend Kaylee, and she never experienced anything paranormal, very much a novice, and asked if I'd go there and investigate with her overnight. And I brought her in, and nothing happened. It was like till 3 a.m. We sat there, we talked. I mean, you'd hear a little knock here. It was a slow night, and I think it was a build up to what was about to happen. And so the lights went off. She went on the small couch in the living room. I went on the big couch in the living room, and I was just kind of curled up in a ball, getting a few hours of sleep, and then I felt like a hand just on my neck, and whoosh, I was like, wait a second, like what just happened? I turned around, and the only thing that was on was a nightlight on the wall, and then there was this dark mass that just kept going in front of the nightlight and blocking it out, and I'm like, am I seeing? Because we capture it on the cameras all the time. I'm like, holy crap. And I'm like, Haley, and I'm kicking her. And she turned over and she's like, oh my God, do you see that? And I'm like, okay, I'm not seeing spots or something, like we're actually both witnessing a shadow figure in the living room of the Hinsdale house. And then she jumped over on the couch with me, and it went for a few minutes, and then it dissipated to where a bedroom used to be off the living room in a bathroom, and it was gone. And it was quite the experience. I've experienced stuff there, but like to be touched and to see that with my own eyes was pretty amazing.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. Wow. Another question I had for you personally was, oftentimes Keith and I will talk about, excuse me, the whole paranormal field, and we'll often ask people, different things that they think that they are able to assist with in the field and that sort of thing. So I'm going to reword the question a little bit for you. Is there something that people starting out, and some of the new people in the chat, or new to a team or a group, is there a bit of advice, like one token thing that you could give to people as kind of like just one of the most meaningful pieces of advice that you'd have for people who'd start this whole process, much like you had?
Yeah, I'd say whatever you've seen on TV, take it all and throw it down the toilet and start off fresh. This is going to be a new experience for you. You know what I mean? TV, you'll film for 2 days, 3 days, and cut it down to a 43-minute show, and it doesn't happen like that. Like it's a lot different than what you see on TV. And I also would say, if you don't understand something, learn about it first before you take on something that you don't understand. If something's happening and you question it and you don't have the means to deal with it, walk away from it as fast as you can, learn about it, or get somebody that knows what the hell they're doing to assist you before diving into something that you don't know.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really, really, really good advice.
Folks, there you have it.
A piece of, because since Keith's the tech guru, is there a piece of equipment that you like the most to take in with you when you investigate, or to use?
Powder and bubble wrap.
Fair enough.
No, I'm kidding. But those are. I do go some of the basics, but I do like just my basic recorder, K2 meter. I like the basics, and I like to use my sight, my senses, and really take in the location that we're in and the history, and see what we can come up with. I do have a ton of equipment. I know, like, if I added it all up, I'd probably be in a doghouse if my wife knew how much I spend on stuff. It was she'll probably be watching. But I love spirit boxes. I'm like Keith. I like to experiment with different people that build spirit boxes and test them out and use them at locations, and see what type of responses you get from those as well. Sure. I have a nice collection of those.
Yeah. Nice. Wes has a follow-up question. He says, do you believe the Hinsdale house has some kind of control over you when you're there? Would it be an assumption that you're part of the house, or the house is part of you?
I don't think it has any control over me. I don't. From the beginning, I knew I didn't want to have that big of a connection with it, where I had to be there all the time. Tiffany's in there. Tiffany Collette, she's in the chat room. I have a great group of volunteers and people that help me out. and we rotate the duties on a daily basis, so it doesn't get to a point where it's infatuation with the location. I do feel like I'm part of the house history. I don't, but I try not to make it to the point where it's obsessive.
Sure.
I know that I oversee things. I'm the overseer of what happens there, but I don't let it get into my head. I just work with everybody. I have a great group of people, probably a good like 10 people that will rotate letting people in. So it's not like I have to be there every night. I have a guy that mows the lawn. I have a guy that paints the house. I have a guy that works on the plumbing or something. So you have people that help, and it just helps with that overbearingness, if you will, of the location.
And I think, there, Tiffany's comment. Yeah, when she's there, she ignores it most of the time because they want your attention and the activity in your place.
I love it when Tiffany comes there because she's like she's like one of the 7 dwarves. She's like Snow White coming over to my house, and she's got the broom and she's cleaning all the time.
Oh no! Now that's stuck in my head. Now I'm going to be whistle while we work.
Do you mind if I clean while I wait for the team? No, please. Go ahead. She's awesome.
Oh, I don't know if we're friends or not, Tiffany, but
so if a team that's watching wants to come investigate at your location, how do they get a hold of you for that?
My website, danielklaes.com, is how my name's spelled on the screen there, .com, and just drop the drop-down box to Hinsdale House, and there's a calendar with open dates. There's a contact form. You can find me on any social media. I respond to everything. Not hard to get a hold of, and we can have a chat. I do chat with everybody. I like to take I don't just like let people just book it without talking to them first, like kind of so they know what they're getting into and making sure that they're good to go. Because we have stuff for different levels for people. I'm just not going to let somebody go there that has never investigated before.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's smart. Yeah. And then your shows, how do people view those?
So right now, Death Walker is in UK on Discovery Plus. It's in Canada on Sci-Fi Channel, which is on Rogers cable. Working on the release of the United States deal. Hopefully that we'll be able to announce that the next week or so, depending on how things fall. There's a lot of interest for the show, so it's we're just waiting to see what happens with that. And then the Ghost Finders you can watch on Paraflix. You can watch that on Amazon or Amazon Prime, Apple TV, and the Spirit Channel on Roku. So there's lots of different ways.
Nice. Yeah. You're found everywhere now.
Yeah.
He's
Thank
always
accessible,
everyone. He said he answers all of it. Right. That's right. And you will be joining us back at the Warren's Paracon coming up.
I will.
Right?
I will. I'm excited. Wonderful. Keith, did you see who's going to be? I'm sorry, Kelly, but Keith, did you see who's going to be at Mohegan Sun on the 28th?
It doesn't matter who's going to. Is that a setup for that?
No, it's AEW.
So the night before we get there?
Yes.
I'll see you guys the next day.
Well, actually, you know what? Honestly, I think we could probably fly into town because it's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt.
As soon as you said that, he is like, I will change the flight.
Dan, are you gonna be there?
Yeah. Oh, I got my ticket already.
Oh, I don't have. Okay. Yeah, I'll probably
Music
need
to
that.
his ears now.
Probably. Well,
but you know what? We could meet in the arena. It's not a big arena. It's not like one of those big. It's like 8,000 seats. So it's going to be not A&W Root Beer. All
A&W Root Beer's got the good frosty taste. A&W. Okay.
All Extreme Wrestling, right? Is that what it's called? AEW. Is that what it stands for?
I believe. Yeah. It's
See, now this is where I can see the costume coming in, because I feel like it's Halloween weekend and you probably should have like some sort of people that are going to have costumes. So like I see how this would fit in.
I could see him like dressing up like the Macho Man, the Cowboy Macho Man.
Oh yeah!
The hat and the purple and the sparkles. Like,
let me tell you something, you little Hulkamaniacs. Mm-hmm. You have no idea. Be quiet, Elizabeth.
I think you
Let
should
me tell
fly
you
in
something,
that.
you little Hulkamaniacs. Oh, you think you want to be?
You
What's
could
when
play
the
Elizabeth Kelly.
Macho
You could be a
Man?
manager.
When the
Is that
Macho
what I could
Man
be?
Yeah, you
lands
could
off
be a
the top
manager,
rope
Elizabeth.
with an elbow. You know, the Macho Man was coming off the top rope with the elbow before the people's elbow ever happened. You think about it.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to think about it right now, to be honest with you, because I just think that if you're going to wear a costume like that, you should wear it on the plane to get there.
I agree.
That way,
Might as well
everyone
just
is
go
very
all in,
clear
not
about
all
your
out.
stance on Halloween weekend.
Well, I want
It's
to
just the
be
thought.
there for sure.
Yeah.
So that it
So
now
if
that you
not,
said
if
that,
you guys disappear to the wrestling event the night before and you come back with costumes for the following day.
the British Bulldog.
Oh my gosh!
Let me see it. Let me see if Dan can. Let me see if Dan can get this one. Oh!
I've hung out with the guy. Come on, he's from Glen Falls, New York. Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh!
Oh my gosh!
You know,
well,
he's a New York boy. He's a New York boy. How do I not know who that is?
He's still alive. I think he's still alive.
Yeah, he is, and he still comes around.
Tiffany has a good point. Yeah. Yeah. And I was going to ask you about your family, Dan. Like, do any of your kids have an interest in the paranormal? Do they do any activities or anything with you, or, is that kind of stay with you?
No, I mean, I'm the most involved with it, but the kids all are into it. They all support what I do. So does the wife.
Yeah.
I think it's fun that they, the teacher at my daughter's school knew who I was, knew about the Hinsdale house. So
nice.
It's cool, cool to have a dad that's a ghost hunter,
Dan gets recognized at the airport
He's
now.
a ghost hunter,
yeah,
owns a haunted house.
That happened to me with Chase. Is they would want to come over and say, "What's your dad?" Well, he's a drummer, he's a fireman, and he hunts for ghosts. Oh, your dad's cool. And I said, "Oh, Chase, really? You don't have to tell him all that." But it was fun. His friends and Chase, we enjoyed it. Well, I tell you what, let's
have more events coming up too at the Hinsdale house for the spring or the fall and winter and spring. Anything you want to promote?
We have events coming up all throughout the month of October. Tiffany's going to be leading the helm on those with another volunteer, Diana, and we have probably like 7 or 8 dates available. A couple are sold out already, but if you go to my website and just go to events, you'll be able to see those and go experience the Hinsdale house for yourself if you can.
Nice.
Absolutely. Well, the other thing to talk about
is Haunted Magazine.
Yeah, there's something else we didn't. Of course, he's involved with that as well, the Haunted Magazine. Do you have any of the cool shirts laying around? You can even go get them if you want to do the newest Hinsdale house, so you can show that
the
shirt.
Newest Hinsdale release.
Go grab it. Yes, folks. Let me tell you about this shirt. I'm going to be ordering it. This supports the Hinsdale house. So if I'm not mistaken, the purchase of these shirts all is just another opportunity to get to have some proceeds go towards the house. And so when you're getting these, not only do you also get to look cool, but Dan, I spoke.
Go
ahead.
These are available only as these shirts are, because they're like
nice. I like it.
And then the back has the logo and Hinsdale house information on it. These ones will be the double-sided shirts will be available only at the Hinsdale house and at the Warren's Paracon.
Nice.
So you might want to, because the ones that you get online will just say this, and then I have the logo here, so it's a one-sided shirt, But and then I also have the hoodies available. Nice, comfy hoodies.
Nice hoodies.
Yes, nice, comfy hoodies.
And will you have those there too?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great.
Yes, we're gonna have lots of stuff there because what I'm told is
what I should
bring more. And bring more. That's what they said. So we'll
Where's the other one you had a couple days ago? The one with the witch. I think it's the other one that was really cool.
Oh, the new Halloween shirt.
Do you have that one?
I I wore it a few days ago, so it's in the laundry.
Okay, yeah. So is that still possible to get with you on finding that on your site?
Yeah, DanielClaes.shop. DanielClaes.shop instead of .com. Just go to my shop and go under new drops, and the shirt will be under there. I also just released today Hinsdale House poker cards.
Anybody you never, if you want to have a little something with the spirits, it might be the case. So speaking of the Paracon, speak a little bit about that you're going to be there. Now you were not there for the first year for the one.
No, I was at a different event that when it was happening the year before, but I'm excited to be there this year. It's always a good time when it's at a casino, so
I mean, what can happen?
Wrestling's there too, apparently.
I just found out about this week because they were in Buffalo this week, and then they announced the Mohegan Sun. I was like, the day before? You got to be kidding me. That's amazing.
It's a done deal.
It's a sign. It's meant to be.
Exactly.
It is exactly.
But I'm super excited to be there. Super excited to meet tons of people. Bring the word of the Hinsdale House out to the folks there. We're giving away a free overnight stay for the program, and I'm going to be representing Haunted Magazine. I'm going to be representing Deathwalker. Nick's going to be there. Tessa's going to be there too. Tessa's doing a gallery reading, so it's gonna be a good time. It's gonna be a good time.
Good time.
And it's Halloween weekend, so
it is. I'm just glad it's not on Halloween because my daughter's 11. I think this might be my last year to go trick or treating if she doesn't kick me to the curb already. I'll have to wait.
Right.
Wait for grandchildren.
Yeah,
I don't need any grandchildren anytime soon, but 11, once you get to those teenage years, you're just stuck. What do you do?
You just have to start trick-or-treating again yourself. And after you have this wrestling costume, that should be easy. So,
well, yeah. I'm not sure who he's going to dress up as. I'm still spinning in my mind who it could be. He's going to surprise us.
Yeah, right.
You're going to see this. If he wears a mask, he could be like, a luchador and
have a Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio. Well, you're looking at one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. I mean, he's one of the best. Kelly.
She's like, can we just ditch this wrestling talk, please?
I mean,
I guess the fun thing about it is when you do have. Oh, there's
Greg.
Greg had to go there.
Greg.
Kane.
Oh my god.
Or we got Kane. We could also do our boy from Houston. Rest.
Wes,
I thought
seriously, men in the chat, you're just making it worse. I can't.
Who is this Maverick guy? The Maverick. I don't know.
Maverick was the winner of Tough Enough. Remember?
Oh, so what does he do? Did he get a contract like a little?
I don't know where he went to unless he's talking about Top Gun. I don't know.
Oh, he's doing that. Kelly's going, what the hell?
Thanks, Tiffany. We're going to be new friends now, so I'm going to chat with you.
Well, guys, so just so you know, remember when we talked about when this show ever started? Now we got Robin. Yes, Robin goes Undertaker. We always said this was not a scripted. We're not going here boring people. We just laugh. We have fun. We talk about. I mean, I love wrestling. Kelly's going to be a future WWE Hall of Famer female wrestler. I think she may be at WrestleMania this year and walking down the aisle. There she comes. I'm like, I knew her back when. Yeah. And then, remember how Dan talked about great things happen from the beginnings? This show could launch Kelly's professional wrestling career. And a year from now, we were like, remember Kelly was on the show?
I got a perfect name for her. What about the genie? And you could do the.
See, she could. The finishing maneuver. Yeah, like she throws this little pixie dust and they go, and then a big clothesline off the ropes and then, whoa!
The pixie dust.
Brandon, you have to be my tag team partner. There's no way I'm doing this by myself. No, yeah.
I could see it. And she could, the Maven.
I didn't even consider and here when I thought retiring from teaching kindergarten, I'd be done. But no, evidently, it's just jump-starting my career.
Wiggle nose. She could do the wiggle nose. She could do the wiggle nose little thing Tiffany just said. Oh, the wiggle nose. Here it comes. The big move.
And every time she does it, TV magic would work on that.
I think we're combining.
We could have she could have her tag team partner, Mrs. Kravitz, and she comes in off the ropes. Here comes Miss Kravitz. Oh, this show went to the wrestling crowd.
Yeah,
but it's been. Yeah. I told you, when we were talking about this show,
we never know what direction it's going to head.
Even still, I said that Dan, if you've never got to meet Dan, Dan has Jedi mind little jokes that he can jab at you. He knows what he's doing, and he goes, "Yeah, how'd that work out for you?" And he'll look at you, and he's actually laughing inside. He knows that he
straight face,
and he keeps a straight face. But he is one of the funniest guys you'll ever be around, and you're like, did he just kind of did? Yep, he did. He did, and you weren't paying attention. He just zipped it right by you. But he's that way. But I laughed. Somebody said, "Is he funny?" And somebody came back to me and said, "You know what? You're right. He's like super funny." I said, "I told you." I laugh. Not that I did, because I walk up and give him a hug. He's like a brother. But you walk up and you just laugh because you think of the times we've done this, we did it. But
we're going to have a lot of great memories next month as well. So it's not too far away.
I can't wait. So all the ways to get a hold of you, did we cover them? Did we made sure we got ways to reach out to get a hold of you?
Yeah.
So, folks,
my website's the easiest. Yeah. I mean, Google Daniel Klaes, my phone number will pop up,
and it pops up.
But no, you'll find a way to contact with me.
Does your website have wrestling theme music when you?
It does not.
Well, there's a new project for you.
Although on my YouTube station, I may have a makeshift paranormal investigator music with the band live.
Oh, okay.
I alone killed you. Okay, I alone you.
It's almost the same.
There is not the end of it.
You'll find my entrance Titantron on my YouTube page.
Yeah, you see Dan walking out. I still say Mr. Perfect.
No, it's like I'm look like this, then I'm in a graveyard. And I'm walking through an abandoned room, and then the zooms up to the grave, and then it's like, this is kick ass. My friend that made me that video, I was like, dude, this is freaking amazing. I love it.
Yeah. Undertaker lives here, and he lives in Houston. He's a Houston boy. He's from here and everything. He is.
I got the movie dolls, and I got.
You did?
What's the guy's name? The Buffalo boy that just won the championship on Wednesday. Dan? No? Are you not familiar?
Crickets here for me. I don't know.
I don't know. Who is it?
Daniel Garcia.
Oh, did he really?
Mark Merrow's from Buffalo. Beth Phoenix is from Buffalo.
Oh, Tiffany says we got Nick Groff. What's that about? Is he getting into wrestling too? I don't think.
No, he's from Buffalo now. He's moved here.
He moved. I don't think that he's a big wrestling guy, though. I don't think he.
Oh yes. Well,
no.
But I've gotten him to wear my belts, and I've had him pose with the wrestling belts on here, and I posted it on his page before.
Yeah. We've had fun. We've investigated together, and I think he laughs at all the equipment. He's like, good God, dude, what else you got in there? Do you have this? And then I dig it out. He goes, okay, I'm done with you. But I do love to bring stuff to hand around to people to use. Folks, we could continue this crazy mayhem, but I know that Dan...
And they will at the Warren
Secret. Brandon Johnson just jumped in. Dragon Slayer Daniel Garcia. See, at least some people know who he is.
Brandon Johnson. How could you? Brandon Johnson's in the house. Everybody loves Brandon. My goodness. Oh, it's going. What do we got? FYI, back in the day, I was WWF Trivia Champion Queen at the local Gino's Pub. Okay, Mrs. Emily Minhouse. I've never met you, but you go, girl. Do you have a belt though? Let's see the belt again one more time. How many do we have there?
I have 4 here, but I brought out. I have the Intercontinental, the Wingtip, World Wrestling Federation. I got this one right here, which is a nice one. Like this This is the Universal Championship, right? Or the WWE Championship.
Yeah.
And then I have the Universal one back over there. That the blue one for the
Yeah.
SmackDown, but it changes
Yeah.
color. So if the Universal's on Raw, it's red. If it's on SmackDown, it's blue. So you have to get 3 belts.
Okay.
And then there's the Unified Tag Team Championship. So you have to have both of those.
Who
belts.
had the spinning belt? Who
I
had
feel
the
like
belt?
we need a study guide.
Folks, you can't get anything past this guy.
Cliff Notes version and the study guide for this evening. Wow.
You can't get past him. The spinning one. Yeah, he was a man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
He had the Spinner US title and WWF Championship.
I tell you, and there was a guy that, and she put on, Emily already put it, John C. Yeah, you're right. Man, folks, if you weren't a wrestling fan, you left here tonight at least sparking the interest that you might walk down the aisle and get in a seat and watch some of the greatest entertainment value there is out there. Because different from a boxing match, when you pay, God knows, $5,000 a ticket and they knock them out in the first 20 seconds and you got to leave the arena, you get 3 hours of sports entertainment and get to have a ball sitting there with your buddies, drinking beer, going. This is childhood stuff, what we grew up and we're still doing it. Why? Because every one of us wants to continue that little part of us that we go back when we were little and we hang on to that here and now and think, wow, I remember, and I don't want to get emotional. I remember going back with my dad growing up, my brother. And so wrestling has its things with me that I just continue to do. So now I'm going to have to get my tickets for the event before the show. So, woo!
What just happened?
I think wrestling brought us all together this evening is what I think happened.
It did. It did. It was a moment.
Yeah.
It was a moment.
Yeah.
It was a moment.
And that's right.
Oh my God! You're
come on. Nobody knows this.
Yeah.
RVD.
Oh yeah. Rob Van Dam was one of. Let me tell you, that guy. You talking about an athlete? At him, but the other one, sadly, and the Canadian crippler Chris Benoit, which sadly left us in a very bad way. I have to say, he gave some of the most stinging knife edge chops. You saw the guy's chest literally have a welt and little bits just of like venules of blood on their chest when he gave them a knife edge chop. And everybody even said one time backstage that they said, I got to do EMS standby one time. And I asked one time who gave them. You would think it would be the man. Woo! No, it wasn't. It wasn't Ric Flair. It was a Canadian crippler. He gave some of the most stinging knife edge chops that you could ever imagine. I think he hurt guys when he did it, but wow, what a time. So yet again, another little takes us back in the day. Actually, I think that's when Rob Van Dam did both, right?
Yeah.
Rob Van Dam. Where's he at nowadays? I haven't even seen him.
He was on Impact for a while, but I'm not.
Where are they now?
Sure.
Yeah. Well, folks, if you haven't guessed it by now, it was the Talk and Tech wrestling show tonight. But I will tell you, along with it, we got to speak with a guy we all know and love, and just one of the things that he loves, like so many of us. And that's the fun about this show is that we don't have it where it's locked down. It's only one little thing. If that's what brings us together, all of us is commenting in the chat. We could say, hey, we had what a fun time now. We try to make, Mondays not suck anymore. So, if we can do that, then, hey, we're doing it. We're doing a good thing.
That's right. Thank you so much, Dan, for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
I was so excited to hear about all of your projects, and now I've learned maybe 1 or 2 things about wrestling. I can't give a whole numerical list of the things I've learned, but maybe 2 or 3 ish. And then, next month we're all going to get to hang out and I mean, the three of us are not hanging out the night before. That's all you guys when you go to the event. But the next day at the actual event that we're there for, then we can
hanging out the night before. That's all you guys.
You must have went on the other thing, Keith.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But no, I heard an echo. But anyhow, thank you for coming on, and thanks for spending some time with us tonight. And everybody, make sure to get your tickets. Go online and get your tickets so we can all see you next month.
Can you hang out in the backstage pre walk the aisle room for us, Dan?
Of course.
Just for a second.
Thank you. Oh my goodness!
Wow. Yes. What you saw tonight and heard tonight was not a figment of your imagination. It's only the beginning, because it's going to get even more fun at the Warren's Paracon. You get to see this and many more shenanigans when you come to the Warren's Paracon. You know, having the man there, Dan the Man, and Nick Groff, and so many other people that are going to be there, it's going to be a super, super fun time, you know. So if you haven't got your tickets, folks, we're going to be putting them up on our site even after this show. But hey, just reach out, and if you have any questions for us, you know, ask us, and then we'll lead you down the path to get your tickets from there. But I tell you, we're super excited to get to see you guys there, and I hope you had a fun time with the show tonight. Real quickly, I will share, folks, me and Kelly love all the people that support us in the paranormal field. And I want to let you know, and I know Kelly, feels the same way. We love and support each of you. And you know, do I individually at times always get to go out with every site and every place and post things? Not all the time, but it's not as if we don't love you or do not. So we all try to share as much as we can. So we do love you. We do support you. I need to try to take more of an effort, even if it means going to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. So be it, to be there to support you guys and your efforts on sites as well. So we support you guys, and thanks for supporting us, because I do believe it is reciprocal. So I just wanted to put that out there, make that statement. If I haven't told you that we love you lately, we just did, and thanks for having the shenanigans with us on Monday nights as you do. It means a lot to us, as you can see.
That's right. And we'll be back in 2 weeks with our next guest. So we'll see you then. Good night, everybody.